Hello and welcome everyone again to another episode to this podcast. My name is Keeper and I'm so thrilled to talk to you again today. This podcast is dedicated to writing lyrics and overcoming writer's block. And I hope the previous episodes helped you with just that. If you like the show so far, I'd love to hear your feedback on the content and really appreciate your ratings in whatever application you're listening to this to help this show further develop. If you know of anyone that might benefit from the tips we're talking about today, feel free to share the program with them. So, last week we were talking about writing lyrics with the mindset of programmer. And we came to the conclusion that we need to write every day, see structures in the code and solve future problems and look at other people's code. And I hope these commandments we've been talking about helped you with just that, and that you've tried to use these techniques in your songwriting already. Maybe it even paid off somehow in a finished song, perhaps. In the past week I've been searching for something new to talk to you about, and then I realized that this corona shutdown itself is something we could be talking about, as it gives us as songwriters a lot of opportunities to grow, write songs and collaborate, even though we are apart from each other. So this week is dedicated to the songwriter's home office. We will be talking about routines in your quarantine and how to collaborate with others while they are not physically present. We're also going to be talking about software that is useful in this context. So what can you do when everything stands still? Most concerts for this year got cancelled and you don't know what to do with all the extra time that you have. First of all, relax. It is quite essential to lose all the tension that builds up over the months of routine and everyday life. Look at it as an extra holiday for the first couple of days. Nothing is more toxic than pressure when you're trying to be creative. It is art, after all, that you are trying to produce. Drink some tea, read a lot, or do all the things that you wanted to do when you were too stressed from working your sideline jobs perhaps, or your main jobs. When boredom hits, and surely it will hit at some point, when boredom hits, you will get creative automatically. It might surface in lyrics that pop up in your mind. It might also be an interest in covering some songs that inspired you and you would like to incorporate this style in your song. Try out some new styles or tunings on your instrument and develop your skills, further develop your skills. It might ignite a spark already. While we are mostly talking about writing lyrics, knowing your instrument is an essential part of your career as well. Just as essential as it is to write great lyrics. And if your instrument is your voice, well then go ahead and do regular singing exercises to increase your strength and range. Try imitating singing techniques and scales of your favorite singers. Read a lot about your instrument and about techniques to further improve your skills. Notice this time as an opportunity to focus on your creative path and use the time wisely. When it comes to reading, read some blogs or listen to podcasts that target your field of interest. These formats are easy to follow along and portable, so wherever and whenever you are making breakfast or take a shower, try listening to a podcast, read some blog posts, not under the shower obviously, that inspire you and see whether something pops up in your mind. For me, quite a lot of ideas pop up from podcasts and phrases that the hosts are using. A high profile strategy for writing better lyrics is actually looking at others' songs. So when you are listening to music, try to follow the story or read the words alongside the music. You might as well use a mind map to understand the full story. After that, you can use that mind map to write your own story based on this blueprint by altering some factors such as character traits, settings, and relationships. Most popular stories in books are based on the same foundations by narrating it differently. So try using this with your favorite songs. You can also try to change the perspective to tell the story from a different angle, which might give a different twist to it. Okay, so much for development and finding or making up new stories. After all, there are some rules that we need to follow when writing coherent and good sounding lyrics. So you might want to look up a web page that suits you to find out more about literary terms, meter, syllables, and basic rules to writing poems. This is a powerful tool to write lyrics that fit your music and even make your music follow the words. If you know about this, then you can translate words into music or vice versa. It is because speech has a rhythm, it has patterns, and there are so many useful devices to make our story more appealing and convincing. So look up some basic rules of writing poems. And after that, you might want to analyze whether your favorite songs follow some of these rules or where they might break with these traditions. As we said last time, it is essential to see patterns and schemes in songs. Repetition is quite crucial in pop music nowadays, as it gives the listener a silver lining to follow. Imagine for a second you are listening to the song of one of your idols, a song which you've never heard before. Still, after the first chorus, you can follow the melodic line and sing along to, because there are a lot of repetitions in the song which vary only slightly from the one prior. So try repetitions for both lyrics and music to give your listeners something to follow along. A significant opportunity opens up with this because you can use the rhythmical blueprint of another song for your next song. Analyze the meter of the song and how the patterns of the different parts are structured to write your song following this same blueprint. What else can we do than writing lyrics? Well, besides your instrument, knowing how to record yourself helps to make proper demos of your newly written songs. So while you might not have an entire recording studio at hand, there are some good ways to record yourself in a good quality. First, and maybe the most used method, would be the voice memo application on your phone, which is in your pocket most of the times. So wherever you are, you can quickly record a song idea. Another tool on your phone would be an application like, for instance, GarageBand, which is available for iOS, or Walkband on Android. Personally, I've only used GarageBand, yet Walkband should be able to do the same things roughly with some more limitations. In GarageBand, you can record yourself, add virtual instruments, add loops from Apple Loops to find interesting beats and samples to try something new. You could also use live loops to use it in a live setup if you want to, or make a remix from one of your songs. So endless possibilities right there in your pocket. Interestingly enough, you can even do a multi-track recording with an interface or use amps when you're busking. But this is just for jotting down ideas or using it in the streets. The proper software would be on your computer, I guess. So whatever digital audio workstation you're using, you should be a pro in using it to your benefit. So know everything about it. Watch as many video tutorials as you possibly can. It should be your second nature. With a proper interface and mic, you will be able to do everything in your DAW. You don't need a recording studio at all. Well, not for now and not for the usual work you're doing. The most famous DAWs will be Logic Pro X, Ableton Live, ProTools, Cubase, and so many more out there. So find the right DAW for your work. It's just like finding the right pair of shoes, so take your time. Once you know about your DAW, you might as well want to watch some production videos of your favorite songs to understand how great producers make songs stand out and share their tricks and best practices. So one thing that is really important for becoming a better writer is not to focus on writing at all. Try learning something new every day that is not work related. Watch documentaries or join some online courses on a variety of subjects. Personally, I try to complete one course each month on FutureLearn, which is a platform hosted by the British Council. The classes are free, and surely there is something for everyone. Take a walk outside, sketch a tree or a river, do something for fun, and self-reflect on this later in your writing. Find one moment each day that could be worthy of writing about, even though you have not been trying to find something to write about. Find inspiration in your own actions or the actions of others. In time, this will lead to an open mind that is ready to find new things to write about in every little thing you do without stressing it. So, how can we write songs together in these days? Remote collaboration is possible through Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, or WhatsApp video calls. However, I found a useful tool on the web a few days ago, and it inspired me to collaborate with others and write new songs. Songcraft.io helps with writing lyrics, tabs and chord sheets with others in real time, so you could talk via FaceTime and at the same time write lyrics, put the right chords to them, and find words to rhyme or paraphrase the lyrics. So when it comes to collaborating on the same project, try giving this a shot. Maybe this sparks imagination already. Accompanying this program, I use Rhyme Genie and Tunesmith, which is a combination of two programs that you can purchase online as one, that have a more in-depth dictionary and functionality to adjust the search parameters. Another interesting dictionary I found was the Urban Dictionary, and alongside the Merriam-Webster or Macmillan, these provide us with the correct definitions to words we want to incorporate. The Urban Dictionary also provides us with colloquialisms and how it is used in a urban setting. And as always, turn off that inner critic and just write. You will still get better at writing when you're doing it. So do not think you are at your peak yet. Just persevere. It is a steep and rough way to the point you want to reach. So take step by step. You will always find something to rephrase or make better. So that's it for today already. I hope these approaches help you with writing great lyrics and awesome songs this week. I would really appreciate your feedback and ratings on the platforms you're listening to. All the scripts will be available on my Tumblr, Facebook and webpage. And if you have an approach that helps you and that you would like to share, just send me a voice message via the link in the description and get in contact with me. To support the show, you could also donate on Patreon to get exclusive access to exercises, reviews of songs and exclusive episodes to this show. And that's it for today. Have a wonderful week and happy songwriting.